All right. All right. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. What's going on, everybody? I am Chris, the striping guy. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how everybody's quarter one is doing. There is a lot to talk about. And also, I want to share with you guys what I've learned going into this season and how it can help you out as well. This is by far the busiest that we've ever been since I started. I mean, we're not slowing down. We are getting very busy with work, and it's not just work that's in the state that I live in. It keeps piling up, and these companies are adding work out of state. And really, that's what I want to talk about in the video. I want to update you for quarter one of kind of what we're doing and how we're doing it. And then also, I want to talk to you about the best way to sell striping for these customers with multiple properties. And the thing is if you're able to sell, what is going on? All right, sorry about that. If you're able to sell striping to one customer, that one customer alone can keep you busy. And not only can they keep you busy, because I don't like to just stay busy out there working all day and night and then not putting extra money in my bank account personally. But all it takes is for you to get one customer. And if you're able to get that one customer, then you're able to leverage that customer as they grow. You're able to grow as well. And that's one of the greatest things, especially if you're just starting out or you acquire customers on a smaller scale. But then as you're growing, you can add more customers to essentially your customer list or base. Now, before I get into specifically how we do what we do, I want to emphasize the importance of really staying consistent at it. Now, whenever I first started, I already knew that I needed to spend time targeting one customer with multiple properties, and that's exactly what we did. We intentionally, now we targeted everybody, but we intentionally focused on customers that have one customer with multiple properties. Whenever we first started, my first season, we got Sonics, Little Caesars, and a lot of times these companies turn around. They might use you this year, but the next year they might not use. They might with companies that are really, really cheap, it might be 4 or 5 years before they use you again. With that being said, what we've done is target one customer with multiple properties. That way we're able to maximize our time and the amount of money we pull from that average customer. So, and that's what we still do to this day. Really, what we do now is we try to accumulate reoccurring work. That way, going into 2027, we already know what we have. And that's kind of the way that I like to do it, because I went into 2027 knowing that I was going to have a list of properties. I mean, I've got several customers that own multiple properties that they're just emailing me spreadsheets now. I mean, they'll email me a spreadsheet, and I'll go in there, and before I even send an estimate, I go in there, plug in the numbers in the spreadsheet, and then we negotiate on pricing before we ever even like seal the deal. That way, when I extend the estimate, I already know that it's going to get accepted. And so with that being said, this year, I think we had probably 50,000 in rollover from 2025. And then it rolled over into the 2024 season, meaning we haven't even got to it yet. So we had like 50,000 that rolled over, which was nice. I mean, it was cool. I mean, I'm excited about it, even in the cold season, and we're still getting organic traffic. But y'all, I got two of my customers sent me lists of properties, and I got 200 properties to do. 200 properties to stripe, spanning from Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Chicago, Wisconsin, Arkansas. I mean, I've got properties like in 6 or 7 different states to do. And really, I kind of want to, that's what I want to talk about in this video, because I want to give you away the secret blueprint of how we do what we do, what's going through my mind when we're targeting these customers. And then if you take the information that I'm going to give you, then you can implement it today, start targeting the right customers. And then that way, you know, you won't have to spend so much time with customers that don't want to pay, with contractors that don't want to pay, and with customers that have no intention of spending money but want you to work on their parking lots all the time. Now, there's several things that are going on in my mind whenever we're targeting these customers. And once we get them into our sales funnel, if I could use it that way, once we get them into our sales funnel, then we begin the process. Number one, look, if you're not targeting multiple brands, you need to start targeting multiple brands. All right. Write down what I'm going to tell you in this video. If most of you are going to click off of the video before you ever even get the information in it, you're going to click off and not really implement what I'm going to tell you. But I'm telling you, if you guys that are going to watch this video do not click off, you write down what I'm telling you. You write down what I'm fixing to tell you. Number one is you need to target brands with multiple property locations. The very first thing that you need to do, target brands with multiple property locations, because it's one and done. You get that customer, there you go. You got them, first of all. And then the second thing you do once you target that customer with multiple brands is do not start your pricing off high. So many people get very greedy when it comes to securing larger contracts in the very beginning, that they lose out on the opportunities to begin with. How do I know that? I know that because whenever I started, I was so greedy, and I thought it would be cool to send out estimates that have great price tags on them. But little did I know that the people that I was sending them to weren't going to accept them anyway. So it really didn't matter if I was going to send an estimate for a striping job that's really small that would take 20 minutes to do it for a couple $1,000s. It sounds and feels cool to send it out, but sending out estimates that are really, really high of the potential of what you might get does not put money in your bank account. So that's the second thing is when you find those customers, I hope you're writing this down. When you find those customers, make sure that your pricing is not too greedy, because what that's going to do is whenever more opportunities come in for you to expand your region, then you will be able to expand no problem. It's not going to be an issue whenever you go to grow and expand and so on and so forth. Now, after, with those two things in mind, let me tell you what's going through my mind. Let me tell you what's going through my mind whenever I'm targeting these customers. And this is the kind of stuff that I'm giving for the done for yous. This is the exact kind of information that I give more in depth to the done for yous. And it just, you get the sauce, you know what I mean? Whenever you're in the done for you. So after those two things in mind, I want you to write this down. All right. When you're going out there and you're talking to these people, you have to think like a business owner and not necessarily like an employee. A lot of people think of like an employee, or they're not necessarily thinking about it like a business owner. They're not walking on a property or communicating with people as a subject matter expert. Listen, I was talking to somebody the other day. He was having a conversation with me. We were talking about church. And so on and so forth and all that stuff. But the thing is I was telling him, I'm a believer. I go to church, but I said at the end of the day, none of these people care about any of that. They don't care about your personal beliefs. They don't care about if you go to church. They don't care about if you're a Christian. They don't care about any of that. All they care about is, can this person produce the result, and can we negotiate on a price that they're able to successfully complete the job and give me the finished outcome? That's all they care about. And a lot of times, these larger companies, if the deal is not negotiated properly, they will take advantage of you. So you have to approach these people like a business owner and a person who's focused on growth and profitability, and not just, oh man, we want to do a great job for you. Oh, and by the way, like, did I tell you that I go to church? Did I tell you I'm a Christian? Did I tell you I run this or I do? Like, they don't care about any of that. Like, that's cool for common people, but like large companies with $1 million budgets for their property, like, they don't care about any of that. Because matter of fact, what they'll do is they'll try to get you to do a cheaper price because of your moral values. So you have to think like a business owner, and you want to set the authority in the mindset of who you are, what you do when you pull up on that property. Okay. Like, I'll be 100% honest, and I don't necessarily call it arrogance, but sometimes it might come off as arrogant. All right. And I really don't mean it that way. But if I'm competing, Jacob, if we're competing against somebody, what are we going to do? Let's say that let's say if me and 3 other people walk on a property, other companies we're trying to outbid or outsell. What are we going to do? Beat their price. What else? Value. I'm going to pull up on a property. It don't matter who I'm competing against, what their branding looks like. It doesn't matter how big their team is, if they got the best equipment. I don't care about any of that. If anybody's going to compete against me and we're competing on the same exact job, you better believe I'm fixing to walk up on that job with 1,000% confidence, because I know that we can get the job done. In here, now I know that there's a lot of other companies better, and I don't take anything away from them. But you have to have that mentality. Like, when I pull up, like, we're the best. It don't matter what happens. It don't matter who's here. I don't care if they've been in business for 50 years. We're pulling up here, and you know what I'm saying? We're the best, and that's the mentality that you have to have. And so you want to set the authority and the mindset when you're pulling up on these properties. Like, if there's a company that has 500 properties, like if there's a company that has 500 properties, you better believe I'm fixing to walk up and seal the deal just like that. And when you're thinking like a business owner and not necessarily just trying to get a small one-off job, you're setting the tonality for how you're approaching these people. And I'm telling y'all, like, we got 200 plus properties. It is January 9th right now. I'm not kidding. I've got properties in multiple states, 200 plus, and I'm fixing to get, I think, another 70 added in March. We have hundreds of properties we have to do right now in January in multiple states. We're gonna have to send crews in different states to get them done. And we just got started for the year. And so what I'm saying is I'm trying to give away that free game of what you need to be doing and how you need to be thinking whenever you're pulling up on these properties. So not only are we thinking like an authoritative source whenever we're going to the job, we're also pricing for scale and not single one-off jobs. And I mentioned that in the very, very beginning of the stream, that we're pricing for scale and not single jobs. So many people get greedy of their jobs, and they focus too much on, well, if this one has 20 lines, then I can charge this. And then if this one has 50 lines, then I can charge this. And if this one has 400 feet of fire lane, I can charge this. What we do, and companies want simplistic, obviously if it's a shopping center, you're going to have to adjust your price. But if they're all pretty much the same size, think of it in terms of not necessarily how much material I'm going to burn through, but how fast can we get it done? And then how many of them can we do in one night? So for example, I've got a customer that lets us charge between $1,800 and $2,400 for one site. We can get 3 sites done a night. And so let me just kind of do a little bit of math. All right. So we're just doing a little bit of math. Let's just have a low in 1,800. We can do 3 a night with one crew, can do 3 of those properties a night. That's a $5,000 night. We have 2 crews. that are doing 6 a night, that's a $10,800 night. Probably going to spend about $1,000 in supplies. Okay. Now, with that being said, what I'm trying to tell us is that when you're dealing with hundreds of properties, these people want a flat rate for the price. I'm learning this from experience. They want a flat rate for the price. Some properties are going to be smaller than others. Some are going to be larger than others. So what I do to simplify the process is like, here, let's just negotiate on the price. Let me add a little bit more value there. Let me increase the price a little bit to justify the cost, just in case I pull up on a property that has a lot more striping or paint than others. What happens? They negotiate the price. And when you like, and again, I don't want to take this away from people that I'm not in any way saying a minute ago that you don't operate with integrity or anything like that. But what I am saying is that, when you going back to what I said a minute ago about, telling people who you are, what you do and all that stuff, and how people take advantage of you, I'm kind of going back to that point. Like, you can operate with integrity and humility. And I do that all the time. I got a customer that will let me, he'll let me increase my price if he thinks that I'm pricing it too low, because he has it in his budget for a set price. So what I'm saying is that if you get in good with one customer, you guys can crush it. So, but when you do get in with one customer, you need to price for scale and not just single jobs. All right. You need to think about how you do it strategically and not necessarily, oh man, I'm able to charge this much, because I promise you this, if you get too greedy, you will miss it. So the third thing I want to say is that we make it easy for these types of customers to say yes to us again. All right. You need to make it easier for customers to say yes again. You don't want a customer who is in a large scale national brand to work with you one time because you don't deliver results. You want to make it easy for them to say yes again. You want to make it easy in the billing process, in the quality control. Anytime there's mess up, like you want to make it easier for these companies, because you want them to use you next year. And that's exactly what we have. We have multiple companies with multiple properties that use us year after year. And the majority of that rolled over, and they just keep adding more and more and more and more and more properties. And then what ends up happening over time is all the work that you've been putting in compounds. Here's a great example. Real estate companies and property management companies in Q4 are, late Q3, beginning of Q4, all the way to the very, very end, are determining their budget for the properties next year. And a lot of estimates that we have open right now are from property management companies who were determining their Q1 budget of 2026. And then all that's going to roll over. So what I'm trying to tell us is that when you make people, you make it easier for people to say yes, that's when these companies want to work with you. Companies want to work with us. And the reason why they want to work with us is because, yeah, we do a good job, but also we know what we're doing. But just with how we position ourselves with these customers makes a significant impact. Listen, I say this all the time, that people, they're not necessarily cheap. Customers only buy paint. Okay. Cheap customers are only going to buy paint. People who are a lot cheaper, people who aren't really focused on quality, all they see is price, regardless of who performs the job, that they're just buying the paint. Customers who are willing to spend the money and who are willing to invest a little bit extra money into making sure that a reputable company does their parking lot, they're not buying paint, they're buying an outcome. And that is very, very important for you guys to understand that. So when you make it easy for them to say yes, you set yourself up for repeat business. Y'all, to put it in perspective of how powerful this information, I'm literally giving this information away, super powerful. Phone's already ringing. Like, when you make it easy for people to say yes, it puts so much power in your hands, because they use you year after year after year after year after year. And then before you know it, you got more work than what you can. This is just striping alone. This is literally just $400K in striping alone that we already have ready to go right now. That's not including seal coating. I mean, there's so many, like I think we have, how much do we have right now in estimates that are sent out? About $2.5 million in estimates that are sent out from property management companies from last year. Are we going to close all $2.5 million? Probably not. Do I think that we'll close a good majority portion of that? About 300. I think about 300 to 500,000. I think we're going to close on that, on what rolled over from last year that hasn't been accepted. And that's all from property management companies, because we position ourselves in a way that makes them want to say yes again. We take our customers out to eat. We send our customers flowers. We send our customers gift cards. Like, we do things that cultivate relationships with our customers. And by doing those things, it sets us up going into the season next season. So it just compounds, y'all, is what I'm trying to tell us. So when you make it easy for them to say yes, it's not difficult. Companies want to work with you. And then you establish brand, authority, trust, reputation, all that stuff. And it works together in tandem. And then before you know it, you got, it's just, you were already set up. So not only that, after we make it easy for them to say yes again, we focus on long-term accounts. We focus on long-term accounts. And this is something a lot of people laugh at me for, but we still do it to this day. If I got a customer who's got 20 or 30 properties, okay? If I got a customer who's got 20 or 30 properties, then we might offer to do one of those and not even charge them. I mean, obviously, if it doesn't cost us $4,000 to stripe it, I mean, I've seal coated $5,000 lots and didn't charge a penny. You know what I mean? I've charged, I've sold, work and given people discounts, and you do that because I'm not thinking about the short term. And when you're running a business, and I'm not necessarily saying this is a bad thing, but like when you're just getting started, like obviously you're thinking about that paycheck. You're thinking about getting paid for that day, and every check matters that comes in. But what happens after a while is the more you save your money, if you're responsible with your finances, if you don't try to grow or scale too fast, you have the expendable income. You could do parking lots for free and not charge nothing. And what happens is we still do that to this day. Is we will not charge a customer. So I'll do a parking lot for free, not charge a customer, and then get 20 properties that I'm the person that just if they only call me for the service. And it's just like an ad campaign or ROI that's really, really high because you invest the time, and so there's all sorts of ways that you can get customers and be innovative. But I don't want to necessarily spend too much time on that because I do have an outline that I want to follow. So not only that, this is where we get to the next point of how we're able to do this kind of stuff is we sell outcomes, not just line paint. This is very, very, very critical. A lot of people just focus on selling paint. It's just they get the paint, they put it on the ground. How many linear feet? Put this paint on the ground. Okay, here we go. Like, I won't even entertain the thought if a customer tries to come to me telling me how much I should be charging for a line of paint. I don't even, that's a red flag right there. That's a customer I don't even want to work with. And we don't sell paint. So when you switch, and this is, a lot of people are going to think I'm crazy, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't care if people think I'm crazy. When you switch your perspective from just selling lines on the ground instead of painting lines on the ground or seal coating properties, paving property, whatever the case may be, if you change your perspective from selling line paint and just, we put paint on the ground, blah, 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 blah. You change that perspective to selling an outcome and not selling paint. It shifts the way you think about operating all this stuff you got going on, because people are purchasing an outcome. They're not purchasing paint. Now, cheap customers are purchasing paint. Golly, somebody got born again, son. Y'all gonna have to hold on for the stream. He said that guy Raymond in Louisiana got saved. Yeah, they said gonna baptize him Sunday. Hey, I'm gonna call you in about 30 minutes. All right, y'all. Look, we're gonna have to cut it short because I need to find out what happened. Anyways, man, that's crazy. And that makes me happy. All right. So we sell outcomes, not line paint. Look, you need to sell outcomes and not just necessarily paint on the ground. And we can cover this, a lot of information on this. This is stuff that I teach in the Done For You packages. Like, the done for yous are like, this is what the people who get the done for yous are done for. Like we teach them how to do this, so that way you don't have to spend 5-6 years trying to figure this stuff out. So then the next thing after we sell outcomes is we anchor value before we talk price. And you never want to go in and talk price before you've talked about a mutual exchange in value. Okay. That is a big mistake that people do, is that they go in negotiating price before they ever establish the value. And you have to establish the value, because if your value is not there, then you're not going to be able to negotiate your price. For example, I got a call from a guy yesterday, and he said, he's asking me how much to charge. Hey, how much do I charge for blah, blah, blah? I said, charge whatever you want. And he was shocked at my response that I said that. And he was like, well, I don't want to charge too much. And I said, the service is worth whatever someone's willing to pay for it. Okay. This drink right here is $3. If this drink right here went to about $10, you know what I would do? I'd pay for it because I like this drink. And the same exact concept. It's so simple how these little bitty concepts can teach you magnificent things, because if that goes up in price, I'm still going to pay for it because I love the service. And if I don't want my parking lot looking like junk, then I'm willing to pay to make it look better because I love the service. And people don't understand that. And if every cheap guy who would understand how to sell an outcome and not just paint, and how to anchor value before they talk price, you would not have problems selling as many. Like, you guys that are going to watch this video, a lot of you aren't even going to make it towards the end of the live stream. If you would change the perspective of how you view the service, you could charge whatever you want. I mean, obviously within reason, you know what I mean? But like, have you ever wondered in your mind how these large companies are, they're acquiring the customer, and when they acquire the customer, they get the customer, and when they acquire the customer, they subcontract it out to you in your local area. Have you ever wondered how companies are able to do that, or why they do that, or how they do it? They do it because they anchor the value before they talk about price. That's the reason why a company calls you out of state and goes, hey, we got a parking lot in San Diego, California, and we wanted to know if you'd be willing to go paint it for us. Okay, great. How much is it? It'll be $1,500. Oh, that's a pretty good price. You know what I mean? I'll be out there for a couple hours and make $1,500. The reason why they delegate that work to you, and they're probably making double or even triple what you're making, which isn't a big deal, but it's because they anchor the value before they ever even talk to the customer about price. And once you understand that, your perspective, man, I'm telling y'all, it changes the game for how you approach all these customers. And then you start thinking in your mind, man, I've negotiated such a great price. Honestly, I've got work all over the country I could subcontract. But anyways, nevertheless, so that's only for the done for yous though. Now, what I'm trying to tell us is that if we anchor the value before we talk about price, then the price makes sense after the value is established. Once you establish the value, then you could talk about price, and then the price makes sense to the prospective customer that you're trying to convince to buy your service. Okay, here we go as we keep going. Next is we sell confidence, and we sell it through our processes. A customer who has multiple properties wants to believe that you will have enough capacity to successfully complete the job. All right, here's another example. One of my biggest customers, he said, this is what he says. He says, hey, I've got 70 more properties, but I don't know if you can handle it. I said, man, we're fixing to hit 30 of them next week. We got this. We got 2 7x16s. We got 439s, drivers. We have everything that we need. I said, I've literally invested a lot of money in equipment to handle this. And this prospective customer is looking to add about 1,500 locations nationwide. And I'm trying to get them, because you get one national contract, buddy, you're set. I mean, you don't even have to do anything else except just focus on them. I'm targeting national brands. Okay, now, whenever you sell confidence, you're able to do it through the processes that you have. And people want to have confidence that when this company pulls up on my parking lot, they're going to leave and it's going to look great. And every single time, we're highly focused on quality control. If you emphasize with larger customers quality control at a great price, that, it's going to look good. Here's a small example. So for us, have you ever seen a property that's and I'm going to do a Q&A too, by the way. In the second half of the live stream, I'm going to do a Q&A. So if you guys that are in the live stream, if you want to ask any questions, now is the time to start putting the questions in the live stream, because I'm going to be answering some free questions and giving you some information. I mean, I literally just want to make sure that you guys can go crush it for this quarter one. But I had this, I had this guy call me. Man, I lost my train of thought. Y'all, somebody got born again, son. I'm pumped about that. As soon as he texted me that, I lost I lost that live stream jazz. But put your questions in the comment section of the video. That way I can answer them. Okay, so we talked about selling outcomes, not line paint. We anchor value before we talk price. We sell confidence through process. So what I was saying is okay, I know where I'm at now. Have you ever seen those properties that you pull up on it and the lines are 8 inches wide, a foot wide, because on restrives, people just raise the gun higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. Well, an aspect of quality control for us is I don't do that. So, and that might be very, very minimal, but we're talking about selling confidence through processes. All right. So something very minuscule and small like that, you're supposed to cover up the whole line. We don't. If it's a 8-inch line, or if it's a 6-inch line, we don't just keep making the line wider and wider and wider and wider, because number one, it costs more in paint. Number two, it looks trashy when you get done. So whenever we come on a property, I tell my customer up front, we don't, especially when we take on a brand that is regional or national, because I got another national brand I got my eyesights on right now. So, straight up, we're gonna get after it. So with that being said, we do not make lines wider and wider and wider. We have the same processes through multiple properties every single time we touch the property. So if it's a 6-inch line, we'll paint it. We might go 5 inches, but we put the fan pattern to the left. We don't make the line wider and wider and wider and wider, and it doesn't look trashy. It's going to fade in a year and a half or 2 years. Then when we come back, we have established that we just ensure a consistent line consistency all throughout the properties. And I snap pictures of it and tell them whenever we're on the job site, hey, we don't make our lines wider and wider. I don't want the parking lot to look trashy in 3 years, because we're going to service it next year. Just wanted to send you a quick little update. So we sell confidence through process. If you guys do not have processes, listen, my buddy Matt would tell me this all the time. Like he would tell me, he told me this probably for 2 years. He said, and it was before we kind of grew. Now we're projected. We're gonna do it in this year. And he would tell me, you need to have your systems in place. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And then he would tell me over and over, you need to have your systems in place. Yeah, and I was just kind of treating it more like it was a business, but it wasn't to the point where I could take our reference material and like this. So like our reference material. So now, if we bring somebody on or we're on the field, we just hand them our processes, hand them our systems, and they know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? But now it's to the point where really before we took off, this is going to be our busiest year, but now we're able to implement SOPs that ensure consistency across the board without me having to be there. That's the important part. Because that guy over there who's sitting over there in that desk is the one who's going to be making sure all this stuff around here gets taken care of, because I got 2 other companies that I got to grow. So what I'm saying is if we sell confidence through our processes, it's not hard to anchor the value with the price point. This is stuff that people don't even think about. How many of y'all that are watching this video right now think about the anchor value before you ever even talk about the price? Never even considered it. And that's not a bad thing. It's not like a negative thing. It's just, that's what I make these content for. I mean, we never think about how do we anchor the value before we send the price. We just send the price and go, well, I hope they accept it. Well, I hope they accept it too, but why don't we send the price with a higher probability that they will accept it? That's the way that I like to operate. Okay, so we're selling confidence through process. And the last part is, before we get to the Q&A, is that we cluster work to increase our profit margins. Let's say San Antonio. Anybody else going to San Antonio? That's where we're going to be at next week. Next week, we're hitting Edinburgh, Texas. After that, we're going to San Antonio. After that, we're going to Dallas. After that, we're hitting Oklahoma. Houston. After that, we're hitting Houston. We're going on a world tour, baby. We're Look, we're going to Chicago. We're going to Arkansas. What? Wisconsin. Look, we're going on a world tour, baby. Look. So what I'm trying to tell us is that we cluster work to increase our margins. So the route density improves profitability. So we might go to Houston and make 40 grand. We might go to Dallas and make 20 grand. We might go to Oklahoma and make 34 grand. And we do these jobs in clusters. That way we're able to increase our margins. And now we got updated equipment and updated trailers. So we're able to go off in different directions and handle the same customer in different locations, north and south. So it's one of those things, y'all, where we've got so much work to do. One trailer and one truck can't get to it. We have to have multiple trucks, multiple trailers, multiple crews running at the same time in order to successfully complete and fulfill the demand that the orders that have been placed. So you have to cluster work with, route density. That way you can improve your efficiency. Now, here's the questions I'm going to ask or answer for the Q&A section. And then after that, I'm going to get off. Because like I said, I know y'all heard my phone call, but look, making money's cool and all that stuff, bro. But hearing people get born again makes me a lot happier. So, you know what I'm saying? So I got that text a minute ago. I'm going to have to get off the live stream in a minute. But I want to answer these questions. And also I want to say this. If you're on the live stream and you're thinking about starting a parking lot striping business, and I'm telling you, you need to hit me up for the Done For You package, because we take somebody with zero experience and we turn them into a complete killer, and you don't have to pay a franchise fee for the rest of your life. So I just wanted to interject that. If you're watching and you're thinking about getting started, hit me up for the Done For You. Text me my numbers in the comment section description of every single video. Let me take a drink, and then I'll answer some questions that we're going to roll out for this Friday. Okay. Ryan says, keep up the good work, cousin. Keep seeking the kingdom. Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. I hope you've been doing all right. I'm sure everything's going good. Bobby Boucher, 6316, says, how much is the course? The course is $200. I'll tell you all of our programs. The course is $250. The in-person training is a higher ticket offer. I'm not going to break those prices down because sometimes I negotiate with people. And then the Done For You is a way higher price range. I'm not going to really say that over the internet because, again, we negotiate with people. But we have our numbers that we try to get. But $250, super cheap. I've had people do multiple six figures with the information that's in the training course. Get it, don't get it, doesn't bother me. Louie. Me and Louie started at the same time. Louie's a good guy. I hope I see you at Payvex. I hope you're going to be at Payvex this year. He says, exactly. If I sense they're looking for the cheapest price, I tell them I'm probably going to be the most expensive. I sell quality and value 100%. I couldn't agree more. I mean, we just don't have time to go and waste time, doing jobs. We just don't have time. You know what I'm saying? Green Man says, how do you get people to call you? I still have to do cold outreach for all my jobs. Well, Green Man, let me tell you this. I'll tell you how, and it's through organic search traffic. What I would do if I were you is I would hit up my buddy Matt. Here, I'll put Matt's number. Hang on. I'll put Matt's number in the comment section because this is how these customers find us. Like whenever we get large projects in multiple properties in multiple states and lots of work reoccurring is because these people find us. Not only do they find us, but we go after them. But hang on, let me ask Matt what his number is. I'm going to put Matt's number in the comment section of this video. Y'all, I'm telling you, you need to hit up Matt. If you don't have somebody that is in your corner doing these types of things for you, then, man, I'm telling you, you are going to miss out, because Matt has, in all reality, he's put us in a position to be able to crush it. I'm looking for Matt's number. I'm going to put his number in the comment section of this video. That way you can, hang on, let me see it, because Green Man asked how we get customers, and I'm fixing to tell you guys, and this is who you need to call if you're interested in this. Let me text Matt and ask him what his number is. Hang on. Okay. All right. Here's Matt's number. This is who you need to call right now. Well, I don't know if you want to call him right now, but I would text him. 437-4985. You want to learn how to land and leverage national contracts and get brands to call you and reach out to you. I'm telling you straight up, text and call that guy right there, because he can build you a marketing funnel that will attract people to come to you. But see, a lot of people who watch these videos don't even think about stuff like that, because they're so focused on the momentary. Like, if you're watching this video right now, I want to tell you, do not focus on the here and now. You need to focus on other things that are going to get you to where you need to go. We would never put the e-brake on in the car and then try to drive the car. We would take the e-brake off, and then we would start the car and then back up and accelerate the car with the movement of gas. And I'm telling you, one of the reasons why we have been able to crush it the first month of Q1 is because people like Matt. So you see, Green Man 06 knows how to play ball, son. So he says, how do you get people to call you? I still have to do cold call outreach for all my jobs. This is what you need to do right here, Green Man, is you need to call 405-437-4985. That is Matt. He's the guy that we use for all of our, all of our work and positioning, for marketing and all that stuff. So, like, take it for what it's worth. You guys get free value in this video. I'm telling you right now, you need to, you need to be able to reach out to Matt. So call Matt if you're interested in landing large commercial jobs. He'll be able to explain to you how you do it. He says, do you need to do anything special with licensing or insurance to do jobs in different states like that? You probably do. You probably do. We're not going to California. We're not going to California. We're not going to Arizona. We're not going to states that I know for 100% fact you have to have a license. It just is what it is. There's a lot of places that you have to have a contractor's license for a couple of years before you can get started. But personally, I don't. Shoot, we'll be in and out. So we'll go and we'll hit the property and we'll be in and out, gone. So Jacobs. Jacob says, where do you not go? Well, Jacob, we go everywhere. Because you're about to be the one that's driving there. You're about to be the one that's going everywhere for us. All right, well. Y'all, we literally pull up to the office and we'll be here like 5 o'clock in the morning, just sitting here working. I mean, every day we're here at 5 o'clock in the morning and we leave at like 4 or 5 sometimes at night. We hit 12-hour days every day. We'll never take no time off. But where do you not go, man? We go everywhere. I'm not trying to go to California. I'm not trying to go to New York. I'm not trying to go to Mexico. I'm not trying to go to Venezuela. I'm not trying to go, you know what I'm saying? But I try to stay like within a grid map of everywhere around Oklahoma. But for the first time ever, I am going to go to Chicago. Jacob's going to Chicago. I'm not. because I don't want to get hurt by. All right, y'all. I'm losing the stream. All right. There's more questions, but I like Green. There's more questions, but Green Man's questions are really, really good. He says, up in Minnesota, we will rip the e-brake and drive around in the snow in an empty parking lot. Okay. All right. Well, that's good, Green Man. I hope that you. Huh? Jacob says you're going to do it with the trailer. Anyway, so with all that being said, y'all, keep those things in your mind. Go back and rewatch this video. I mean, this information is literally designed to help you guys out because it's information that I'm implementing right now. And I will say that. So 2 things. If we know now we have, before I go, we started selling the done for yous basically. So the done for yous were, we put a marketing team, we put a sales team, and we literally help you start your business. You start it, and we put these people in there to help you, and then we help you grow it. And not only that, guess what? If you're a part of the done for you, and I've got contracts all over the United States, guess who gets to be a part of that? People who are in the done for you. Anyways, man, so if you guys are new to the channel, maybe you're struggling getting customers, you're having a hard time, feel free to send me a text message. I'm sure that I can help you out. Anyways, go back, watch the video, take notes, implement the stuff that you're taught for free. Give me a call if you need some help. If not a big deal. Anyways, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell icon, and we will see you in the next video.